Hi! So Blackpink released a song, "The Girls," and it's an OST for a game. And there were so many of you who sent me a message, hundreds literally, who requested that I give my opinion on the matter. And at first, I didn't want to do it simply because I don't have the appetite for it. But I really value you guys' trust. I feel very, very privileged and flattered that you feel like I can be the voice of reasons in issues like this. So I will try that as I always do. Okay, so Blackpink is extremely, extremely successful, and it's no wonder that they everything that they do is magnified, it's micro-examined, and of course, with success comes hate. Hate. Of course, I don't endorse it. I definitely do not agree with it, but I guess that's just the reality of the situation. That being said, I'm not particularly a fan and I'm not a hater either. I've seen three of their shows here in the US. And I think of the four, Lisa is the one that gives her all when it comes to performing. It was actually quite a pleasure looking at her. Uh, I think in terms of energy given in a performance, I would put her in the top 10 of all girl group members from Korea. In terms of artistry, I've always liked the songs of Rose. I love the message. I definitely love the lyrics. And I think it's those two members that made me kind of struggle to find who Blackpink is as an artist. Now, just want to, before I proceed, just want to make it clear that when I talk in this video, I I will differentiate. I will treat commercial success very, very much different from artistic success. Okay. Okay, so the question was that what was my reaction with that song with Blackpink saying they paved the way, and if they leave, nobody else will be left. And my reaction is not much actually. Primarily because I kind of expected that that's the direction they were going to take. Majority of the songs that they've released, especially the carrier singles, they're actually diss tracks if you listen to it. And it has a specific formula. It would usually be Lisa and Jennie talking smack, rapping, and then it would be Jisoo and Rose singing. From Bumbaya to Do 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 Do, they have always been talking about how cool they are, how strong they are, how they are desired. And then when they shifted to Shut Down, they were daring people to go after them so that they can shut them down. And so I knew, like, where are you going to go from there? Obviously, you're going to sort of stake your flag into a territory and reinforce your leadership and claim that people owe you something. So I kind of knew it was coming. So when they did finally come out with something like that, it wasn't really very surprising for me. We also do have to understand that dissing is a natural part of rap and the hip hop culture in general. But there's also something very integral in rap and in hip hop as a genre, and that is that rappers need to write their own rhymes. That is just the basic of all basics. If you don't write your own rhymes, you can't even progress. It's like, nah, that's the that's the most basic. So, but let's not get into the history of hip hop and rap. For now, let's just use that as a jump off point. Given that Lisa didn't write her own rhymes, it didn't hold weight for me at all. There was no weight for me at all. It becomes at best a marketing ploy, and it was a very, very effective marketing tool considering the amount of reaction that it got, and that includes me because I'm doing this video. You can probably think of it as me maybe taking Drake's or Eminem's rhymes and then going on stage, changing a few things here and there so that it becomes more me, and then performing it. And maybe I'm performing it well, but no matter how much I perform it, I cannot. My words hold no weight because those weren't my rhymes. Even though I changed it, it's just the basic requirement. So given that Lisa didn't write it, it's like no weight for me. How can I even take it seriously, whatever it is that you're saying? In this case, that you paved the way, or that if you leave, nobody else will be left, if you're not even writing your own rhymes or raps. Now, Jenny is actually credited as a co-writer. Will it change if it was Jenny who wrote it and then gave it to Lisa? I think it's going to make it worse. It's a controversial line, and you wrote it. Why give it to somebody else to say it, or at least to rap it? If you shoot at someone, at the very least, what you can do is actually stand your ground, show your face, and be ready for the backlash. If you shoot, be ready for the counter shot. That's just part of the genre, and quite honestly part of being a decent human being, right? So I don't think it was Jenny who wrote it. If you look at the other credited writers, you'll see some familiar names, including Melanie Fontana. Okay, now there's also a possibility that they do not know the weight of those claims, right? They don't. That paved the way is a pretty common expression in the US, and this is a diss track, so probably they were picking things, expressions that can sort of embody the kind of positioning that they were taking, took it and then put it in there. I mean, I think for many fans, for fans of a few fandoms, of a few groups, sorry, we're so used to our favorite groups being so in tune, being so concerned, being so I guess familiar with their fandoms, that they actually go out of their way to look at the sentiments of their fandoms, what they're talking about, the trends, the things that they're concerned about. But we have to remember that not all groups are like that. Not all groups are actually have the time or the energy or whatever to actually get into their fandoms pages or websites so that they will be more familiar with what they're talking about. So maybe Blackpink doesn't see what their fans are talking about in Twitter or Weverse or IG or YouTube. After all, probably they're all very busy. Probably their concern is to do their job well, to finish their schedule, take care of their own health, and maybe just going into their fandoms on Twitter and websites and whatever, probably it's not their thing. So it's a possibility that they simply don't know how big of a deal this line is. Now, the other thing is that probably they really do believe it. I think YG, among all management companies, is really best at molding their artists to embody confidence, elitism, exclusivity. They are so good at this. This is not rare among management companies. There were many Western artists in the past who talked about how their management companies actually consciously build a bubble around them so that they will only hear and see and feel and know about the information that will help them do their job well. And the kind of music that Blackpink releases, for them to be able to perform those well, they need to sound it, look it, feel it, believe it. And they do it splendidly, and that's why they are so popular and they are so successful. I guess YG is the best at creating this kind of an environment for their artists. From their interior design, actually, you can feel from when you go into their office the amount of power that emanates from their design. That's the positioning that they wanna take to the type of promotions that they do. That's why they only release very few songs and few albums, a lot of rests in between, because it's part of the exclusivity kind of positioning. And also the songs, not just Blackpink, but even if you go back to 21, it's Hello Bitches, I Am the Best, and then you go to Blackpink and you have Boombaya, and then Shut Down. They cover their artists with consistent messaging. So it wouldn't be strange if this is what really Blackpink believes in. I think a great example of how great YG's marketing is the current tour that they have, when they said, oh, they got 2.11 million attendees in how many shows, but they actually included the festivals, and also they were giving a lot of free tickets, and that's why I actually got to watch it. It was a free ticket. And it also didn't make any sense. Like, if you compute the number of attendees versus the sold out shows that they claim, it wouldn't make sense. The math isn't mathing, as they say on Twitter. And also the venues didn't confirm them, which they did with Twice for MetLife and SoFi. The venues actually confirmed it and announced it, but they didn't do that for Blackpink. But none of those matter, because all YG has to do is put the headline out, and that's well and good. And if you can't blame YG for doing it, because that's what a management company is supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your artists, and they're doing it fine. And that's why they're very, very successful. So if there's anything I wish I am as good in marketing as YG is, I'll probably be also a millionaire. But all that said, I think the only thing that will make this better actually is if Twice responds. Which I know they won't, because there are two different groups in terms of musicality and marketing and promotions. And I think that's why both are very, very successful, and the race is actually very close, because there are two distinct in terms of style, distinct girl groups in terms of style. So that's it. That's my take. I can't fault YG for how they're marketing their artists, for all the things that they're doing to be able to establish the success of their artists, and primarily Blackpink. It works, and that is their job. It's their job to make sure that their artists look good, and they're doing it. But also, I feel like I know that they are renewing their contract, or at least they're negotiating, or there's, I guess, entering a second phase in their career, so to speak, with the expiration of their contract with YG. They have so much success, they're so popular, they have the attention of the world. I feel like this is going to be a really good opportunity for them to sort of discover who they are as artists, and I personally can't wait. But that song specifically, I just didn't think of it much, because it's a diss track, and as I've said, the most basic of that should be that they should have written their own raps. That's the only thing, and the only way it would have held weight, any kind of weight. But without that, nothing. Like, I can't even go to the next stage, I can't even go to the next level. That being said, it was enjoyed by a lot of people. It really garnered a lot of marketing mentions, media mentions, and again, it was a successful marketing effort. For all Blinks, I hope that they get what they want. I'm sure they want the group to stay together. I hope that they get what they want, and as I've said, I feel like if they do, if this is going to be a real opportunity for them to explore their artistry further. Okay, that's it. I really didn't think too much of it. I said that in the beginning. So a lot of the things that I processed, I did it so that I could be of as much of a service to you guys as I could. So I hope it wasn't a wasted, I don't know, 10 minutes of your time. All right, but I will be very strict in the comment section. You can say whatever it is that you want to say. Just please be respectful. If there's any hate, any kind of bad words, insults, or whatever, I will report you. I will delete your comment. But you can always get in touch with me in any of the social media links that you see on your screen right now. And I hope that you can give this video a like, also subscribe, and hit that notification button. More importantly, share the video if you can. Thank you.